Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at the kit itself. First, we'll do kind of a walk around, and then we'll take the driver's seat approach. So this is the full replica of the R30 kit. To my knowledge, it's the only full replica in existence. I get that information from DW because they told me that nobody else has the complete versions of all of the shells for the electric kit. There's some people out there who have 5, but there were 7, and I'm the only one that has all 7. And to my knowledge, I'm the only one that has all 7 on a riser that rotates, that matches the kit, set up in the exact same way. So the kit is all 24 karat plated gold, and it is in the full DW replica maple shells that were used on the actual kit. It's got 2 different brains. There's a Roland here, Mallet Pro there. And on the electric kit side, second Roland, and then I have the Roland amp there so you can actually turn the speakers on and be able to hear it. They mount into the ground just like Neil, or into the riser just like Neil's did. And the way you enter is on this side by the piccolo snare. This can rotate out, allowing you access to come into the kit here. And then it just rotates back. As you can see, I got one of the squirrel fans going here. The other one actually is sitting right there. I don't know if you can see it down. Zoom in a little bit. That's the other squirrel fan. I'm waiting on the gold cymbal or a gold cymbal stand to arrive. You can see it down there. It'll actually connect right here, and the second one will be here. I had it on another cymbal stand. It wasn't 24 karat gold, so I finally upgraded that. That is now coming. So we're in the driver's seat side of the electric kit. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. It's easier to see. There we go. And just for the effects of, with the electric kit, all the electric drums, even the foot trigger, the Mallet Cat, all set up. You can see the double bass there. And like all electric kits, you can, set this to literally hundreds and hundreds of different types of kids that are out there. Let's go a little funkier. Just to give you an idea there. There we go. Anyway, the electric kit on this side over here is also active. There is another foot trigger there by the acoustic side. So you can rotate around. You can hear that one's up and running. And then the Mallet Cat, I know the least about. There's over 1,000 sounds in this. I've played with it a little bit, but honestly, I haven't done any songs, Rush songs or anything else that I've used it in yet. But Neil used this obviously to replace the chimes that he had, the temple blocks, the wood blocks, everything else. So you can literally program almost anything you want into this. Of course, the legendary cowbells used on his solos. And on this side, we'll get to the acoustic side. So spin around here a little bit. This is the Dazz Pad, or trigger that Neil used to generate certain sounds as well. That's also connected and hooked up. And then you have sampling of the different acoustic drums that are there. So when you first sit down to this, it is a little intimidating, but it doesn't take long to get used to the setup. As a matter of fact, it feels very natural. And honestly, playing on a smaller kit at this point in time would feel weird. It's a really nice setup. Neil was about 2 inches taller than I am, so it works for me fairly well. I know there's some people who sit at and say, man, everything feels really high and I struggle to reach everything. Thankfully, I'm about the same size. He was bigger than I was, but I'm close enough that it doesn't feel awkward for me to play at all in any way. As I mentioned before, you see down here, there's a foot trigger and on this other side, there's a foot trigger. So regardless of which side you're sitting on, at any point in time, you can hit that button. And as you can see, we start to move. I'll get a video from the outside where you can see the rotation. But so you can be playing just like he was, and if you want to rotate to the other side, you can go ahead and hit that, stop, rotate around, spin around, and move my phone back a little bit, and it fits quite nicely. It's also nice to have headphones because when I want to play and it's late at night and my wife doesn't want me shaking the entire house, I can throw the headphones on and play on the electric kit, and it's a decent sized electric kit and no noise. Even though this is technically a soundproof room, as it was my theater room before I appropriated it and turned it into the drum room. Apparently, even though there's foam in the walls, insulation in the walls to seal the movie sounds in, and it did. When you turned the theater up all the way, you couldn't even hear it outside the doors. But when I start going on the drums, yeah, you can hear it. You can hear it through the entire house. So it does dampen it a bit, but not quite enough. So the electric kit is nice to be able to jump into and use whenever you need to. And then I got a stash of obviously all Neil Peart signature sticks on that side as well as that side, depending on which kit I'm working on. Let me step out. We'll get a shot of the rotation from the outside. So again, the double bass, mallet cat, or sorry, the fat cat pedals. There's a sustain for the mallet cat, the double bass, the hi-hat there. Just kind of a good overview shot. And as I mentioned in my other video, I used this as the guide in this setup, and this is actually a page out of this book, Taking Center Stage, where Neil goes through in detail and describes all the different kits he used. There's even drum transcriptions and stuff in here. It's a really good book if you don't have it and you're a Rush fan. But as you can see, like on this page here, he gets into the drum setup for this kit that he used in the Moving Pictures tour. And then he goes all the way through to R30, and that's where that image comes from. So I was able to make sure that I rebuilt it true to the original design. And again, here's a shot of the rotation from outside. Technically, I can reset the speed. I've got to go underneath the riser, but there's a little control there that tells me how fast I can rotate. I found this to be a nice, decent pace, but I could go faster or slower if needed. There she is. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and hope that was a little bit better than the last attempt I did at the video. I was told that I moved too quickly. I needed to spend a little bit more time kind of showing off the features and the functionality of the kit in a different way. So trying to get a nice slow pan and view of what's going on and how you get in there and access it. A lot of fun to play. If you're ever in the Dallas area, absolutely look me up. I have, believe it or not, people come over all the time. Strangers, Rush fans that come by and get to know them. And most of the Rush fans I meet are pretty dang cool people. And they get a play on it. And we sit and shoot the bull for a while and sometimes go grab lunch or whatever. But there it is.